Once upon a time, life in Owerri, in the eastern part of Nigeria, used to be simple and fun. In Owerri, there is a small village called Umugoma. There lived a young man called Ibekwe. Ibekwe was a jovial fellow who loved partying and having fun. He used to frequent all the fun spots and joints in the village. Ibekwe was tall, dark in complexion, and very handsome with thick hair. All the girls wanted him. He was very good in playing traditional musical instruments like udu, ojane, oja, ekwe, ikoro, and okike. He was regarded as the most talented young man in the village, and he expertly plucked the heartstrings of many young women. His father Mbakwe had 3 brothers. Ibekwe was the youngest of them all. The Nigerian Civil War began in the late 60s, and life in Owerri was on the lowest level of hardship, so Ibekwe and his brothers lived a low-keyed life, hiding many times to avoid forceful conscription by the Biafran army. The brutal civil war ended in 1970, leaving Owerri, the bursting capital of the short-lived Republic of Biafra, in ruins. The citizens started their lives all over again. Welcome to my channel, African Bedtime Folk Tales. This is where you ought to be. Please subscribe to this channel. Back to the main story. By a stroke of luck, Ibekwe and his brothers discovered that their late father had left behind a big parcel of land in Port Harcourt. They held a meeting and decided to sell the land and share the money equally among the 3 of them. They signed the agreement. The land was sold, but unknown to Ibekwe, his 2 brothers had resolved and agreed not to give him his share of the money. This is the height of it all. When Ibekwe got wind of their plan, he confronted them. They told him that he was too young to be given the money. They told him to wait till he turns 40 years. Ibekwe was very angry and disappointed at their action. He announced he was leaving the family. He told them he was no longer part of the family. They laughed and mocked him. Ibekwe gathered his few possessions and sold them to raise money. He was left with only few of his musical instruments. Ibekwe teamed up with a friend and traveled out of Nigeria. He relocated to Ghana, 15 Banyard Street, off Yadi Layout, Accra. He changed his name. He was now called Eddie QUANSA. He started doing odd jobs to raise money to feed. He began playing his ojin, oja, and guitar. He joined a high-life band in Accra. His relentless lifestyle helped shape the ideas of the high-life group. Eddie and his team were so good in playing high-life music, and they began getting attention from all walks of life. High-life music was the best and most celebrated genre in Ghana then. So Eddie QUANSA brought a new mixture of his traditional ojin, oja, okike, and udu into their live performance, making them unique and popular from other high-life groups in Ghana. Soon they took over and became very popular, and their demand for performance increased. In a few years' time, Ibekwe, who is now called Eddie QUANSA, became a rich man in Ghana. He got married to a beautiful young lady named Ashanti Appiah, the girl with the chocolate skin and thick hips. Eddie QUANSA became one of the prominent men in Accra. He was a rich merchant and a high-life musician. His band was popular and played at many shows. News of Eddie QUANSA's success reached his family in Umugoma, Owerri. His brothers sent some of their kinsmen to beg him for forgiveness, but Eddie had sworn not to have anything to do with them again. His brothers visited him, but they were chased out from his house. They returned to Nigeria and came up with a plan. They approached a popular new high-life band in Owerri called the Peacock's Guitar Band. They begged the band to write and record a song for their brother Eddie QUANSA. After months of pressure, the band recorded the track. It was titled Eddie QUANSA, and it became a hit track in Owerri and eastern Nigeria. The song was an appeal to Eddie QUANSA to return home. Eddie QUANSA heard the record but refused to return home. To make the matter worse, he even played the song during his shows, and his large fans in Ghana loved the song, but they didn't know the meaning and its history. It was not long after then that a TV series called The New Masquerade came on board and was aired on the Nigerian television between 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. This TV series became so popular and gained so much attention and fan base because of its comic relief, information, and educative story. To crown it all, they used the popular song from the Peacock Guitar Band of Owerri, Eddie QUANSA, as their theme song, and it helped make the song more popular. Welcome to my channel, African Bedtime Folktales. This is where you ought to be. Please subscribe to this channel. Back to the main story. An apology song written by Ibekwe's elder brothers to their younger brother, who is now called Eddie QUANSA, turned out to become a street anthem. Do you remember the drama series starring Chief Zebrudaya, Ovularia, Gringori, Jegede, among others? The producers decided to use the Eddie QUANSA track as their signature tune. The song became very popular throughout Nigeria because of the show, yet Eddie QUANSA refused to return home. Have you seen Eddie QUANSA? Some people say he is now dead and buried in Accra. Some say he is still alive but living in a secret location in India or somewhere far in the islands. Some say his ghost roams Owerri at night. They say if you step out of your house at midnight in Owerri and sing these lines, Eddie QUANSA Bia O Bia, the ghost of Eddie QUANSA will appear in front of you. The ghost will take the form of a handsome young man with a long beard. The ghost will scream, Mba, meaning no, I am not coming back. It will suddenly frown at you, baring its teeth, and then vanish. If you are in Owerri, do this tonight and get back to us. Have you seen Eddie QUANSA? Excellent story, if you ask me. But let's get back from Ghostland to reality. This story left a deep impression on me and everyone. It speaks of the evils of greed, treachery, anger, and bitterness. Here was a man who, by this account, was wronged and unfairly treated by his own brothers. He had every right to be angry and disappointed. It was also understandable for him to want to move away from those who caused him so much pain. It's only human, yet there is no justification for staying bitter forever or refusing to let go of hurt. The wise quickly realize, as Nelson Mandela rightly said, that bitterness is like holding a piece of burning coal in your hands and hoping that it hurts someone else. In other words, bitterness always hurts its host much more than those whose wrongful ways caused it in the first place. The story did not tell us what became of Eddie QUANSA's brothers. It is safe, however, to assume that they did not amount to much, not with their wicked hearts. Eddie QUANSA could have chosen, like Joseph in the Bible, to forgive his brothers who sold him into slavery. He could have realized that their jealousy and treachery were divine instruments for ushering him into purpose and stardom. If he had not left his hometown as he did, he might not have discovered the fortune waiting for him in a distant land. So, in a sense, his brothers were the vehicle for his eventual accomplishments, but Eddie QUANSA chose to see things differently. He chose to die with a bitter heart. I see very strong parallels between the legend of Eddie QUANSA and his Obikwe brothers and the Nigeria-Biafra tragedies. There is absolutely no doubt that Biafra was, and still is, poorly treated within the Nigerian family. Sometimes I wonder if there is any group that has actually fared better. But despite all odds, and clearly by divine providence, the people of the territory once called Biafra have survived and thrived beyond imagination. In less than 2 generations after the guns fell silent, they have emerged with one of the highest per capita incomes, educational achievement scores, and average living standard indices within the same country that once waged a viscous war against them. This is according to multiple independent and global statistical sources. It proves the time-worn observation that no one, no army, no human force can deny another his rightful blessings. If you love this story, please subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification button. See you all in the next video. Thanks.